So it's 7 o'clock. We're hunting for our next campsite. It's getting dark once again. That's how we do. We just got here, arrived at our third campsite now, and it's cold. It's raining, windy, and I'm gonna get inside. Got the heater going. It's probably gonna be probably gonna be running all night just to keep us warm in there. But that's the luxury of a pop-up truck camper, which we thoroughly love, by the way. Anyway, I'm gonna get inside. It's cold out here. My camera's getting wet. So I had to come out here and do my business, if you know what I mean. And I just thought I'd bring you all along because it's pitch black out tonight. And the woods are a little spooky. I don't know if you can see much of anything with this camera. The occasional tree, about 10 feet in front of me. If you wait long enough and listen, might hear a noise, rustling in the leaves, the snap of a branch. That's a little spooky though, for sure. It's pitch black. Lodgepole forest. Okay, I'm gonna get back inside now. It's about to spook myself, you know what I mean? Whew. I know there are bears in them there woods. There's always bears. Time to get back inside.
Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. Okay. Burford. Wednesday scattered, I almost said snowstorms, thunderstorms. Today 2 p.m. It's supposed to be cloudy the rest of the day, even maybe in rain, 50s. That's this area right here.
Thought this was supposed to be a nice week.
Yeah. It turned out not being a nice week.
Cool. A little better. You want to know what the best part of crapping in the woods is? Not having to use bark to wipe your ass. Modern convenience of toilet paper. That's where it's at. Best part of crapping in the woods, right here. Now, couldn't you just picture some Native Americans back in the day perching on top of those cliffs, waiting for a buffalo herd to come on by? That's where my imagination goes. This was actually, from the looks of it, kind of a spring-fed pond, this area. And there are several, further on down, there's several springs that trickle down the canyon, making a nice gurgling sound. You can just see how the Native Americans, how they would just perch up on top of these cliff faces here. Spears in hand, bow and arrows in hand, ready to ambush their prey. And this is the area where I found, in one day, 2 different arrowheads and 1 spearhead. So I was saying earlier, I've always been fascinated with ancient history ever since I was a kid. These places really get my imagination going. I better hurry it up because there's like a storm brewing right now. If you can see that, pretty good sized storm coming in, so we might be this little hunting expedition might be cut short today. And I would tell everybody where I'm at, but I don't want to incriminate myself, for one, and for two, I don't want it to be over. I don't want to draw too much attention to any of these places, so that they become overpicked, basically, which is pretty much anywhere. Any place anymore, right? It's been pretty much thoroughly overpicked. But, could just imagine several generations from now how it would still inspire that same kind of awe in young kids, right? What a better reason to, drop the device, get outside, and do a little treasure hunting, right? I think that's really healthy on our minds. I know the wind is really bad right now, because this is Wyoming, right? So one little clue is I'm still in Medicine Bow, but it's a huge park, or forest, national forest. I'm still on the edge, outskirts of Medicine Bow National Forest. Just that I bring you along on one of those things that, ever since I was a kid, I've just been inspired. I've always had that little hunger for discovery, I guess. I guess I've kind of channeled that in my adulthood into discovering different facts about history and characters and the roles that people played, and in particular Bible prophecy has always fascinated me as well. I'm trying to figure out the key players in the greatest story ever told, right? The story of mankind, story of redemption. Isn't that just the most dramatic landscape? These places can't do anything but inspire your imagination. I don't believe in ghosts, but I almost get that sense that you're walking in an area that's still, in a sense, inhabited by those ancients. Little whispers as the wind blows through the sage. Something still very real. Very living about the history of this area. Even though so much of it's been forgotten, windswept, lost in the sands, right? Yeah, this is what you're looking for. This is what you want to see. If you've never done much Arrowhead searching, you can find this kind of fine gravel, and especially I've had the most luck, of course, near a water source, which I believe this was at one time, a river or a lake bed, but also fresh after a good rain, when all these larger pebbles are brought back up to the surface, and along with them, hopefully, a spearhead or two. And you're just looking for that napped, jagged edge on a shiny object. Hopefully it's exposed enough to see the chamfering where they, used ligaments to tie it to a stick to make it into an arrow. Or at least the point. You're looking for at least a point that'll stand out. Yeah, I just love these dramatic cliffs right here. And if the sun's a little bedazzling, helps to have some shades. Just kind of tone down those piercing reflections. It's almost, it's just past noon right now. So it can get kind of straining on the eyes, staring down at the rocky earth for too long with the sun blazing overhead. So yeah, it helps to have some UV filters on. Look at this guy. Cute little caterpillar. Look at his color. Beauty, huh? Fits right in with the landscape. Sepia tone. Alright, little bugger, I'll leave you alone. Yeah, you gotta love this wind though. Here's another one. Must be hot on the trail, huh? Try not to step on one. Those little caterpillars are everywhere, it seems. It's caterpillar season. Yeah, just kind of pace yourself. Much as you can when you're getting blown smithereens out here. Just kind of pace yourself where you're looking at the ground. Try not to have any strong contrast like I am right now with the sun over me. Makes more sense to walk toward the sun so the shadows facing behind you. Oh, that definitely ain't native. It's like somebody dropped their pipe. Much of the imagination now, that's for sure. Maybe I've seen too many cowboy movies, old westerns. You just picture these little holes in the side of the cliff here. Right here. And again right here, you can see how they could have used those for the little food stuffs, food stashes. Keep them away from pests, you know, critters would probably be the biggest enemy, as they are to this day. Anybody trying to grow their own food, it's always the critters, right? But also from, I had it phrased in that article I read recently, Indians with thieving intentions. Maybe other rival tribes looking to steal their food, all their hard labor from the previous summer. So yeah, they'd stash them in these little nooks and crannies in sometimes pottery jars, and they'd sometimes put a rock wall, and you can still see, because we were in Utah, near the Four Corners area. I forgot what it's called now, the area, but there was a lot of Native American activity, and yeah, they still had like these rock walls built up around these little crevasses in the rocks, way, way high up. You had to be like a expert climber just to get to them. So they went to great lengths to protect their food source, because that was life or death over the winter. So you can see some of the more modern pictographs here. Seems like mankind always has to leave their mark, don't they? And it's usually T plus R 2000. Usually something about so-and-so loves so-and-so. Milton Holloway's. Interesting name. Almost sounds like a cowboy name. Interesting symbol there. And the typical heart carved in the sandstone. Miranda. Aspen sky. Something. Oh, that freaked me out. Okay, birds just took off. Whew. Must have been perched up there. It freaked me out a little bit, because I'm like standing underneath this massive cliff. So the worst thing in my mind that could happen was a rock come tumbling down on my head. It was actually a bunch of ravens, I think, were perched up there. The sounds of their wings were so loud. Yeah, they just keep going on forever, all these carvings. I don't actually remember this from last time, but they must have been here, because I've been here before 1995. I can hear those ravens. Let me know I'm in their territory. What's up, little feller? That's so cool. Got a lot to say. That's so awesome. Must definitely be intruding on their territory. They're very curious as to what I'm doing here. So cool to watch. They just effortlessly rise on those thermals. Always fun to watch them play on the winds. They often join together like that in a, they call it a murder when it's a raven, I think so, but definitely with crows, I think they call it a murder when it's a large gathering. Look at these guys. I'm so curious. They just keep swooping overhead. Making sure I'm not up to something. But yeah, I've watched them before. Twin Ells area up in Estes Park, when there's a good storm coming through, and they'll just sit there and explain it no other way but them playing, just enjoying that freedom that a bird has to ride on the wind. An upcoming storm doesn't really make any other sense other than they're having fun up there. I gotta get spending too long talking, hanging out with the ravens. We gotta make a little progress today. Yet to find an arrowhead, but I'm gonna keep looking. Yeah, this wind just never goes away, never dies down. It's typical Wyoming weather. Spot this little it's like either a belt or a saddle loop metal. I'm not sure how old that is. Not quite as cool as an arrowhead, but still kind of neat. It's got some rust age to it. A lot of open space. It's a neat little pillar down there too. We hiked down before. Not sure if we got time to make it today, but always little neat structures around here, shaped out of the elements. Happens more often than not. You go home empty-handed. Didn't have enough time to peruse the landscape today, so never found any, but I'll show maybe a few pictures of the examples that I have found out in this region. Find a buried treasure every day, I guess, right? Otherwise it would be a buried treasure.